have no idea. I don't know. I don't know why I got married. But there are some things that I wish that I knew. I wish that I knew beforehand. Before I set my 27-year-old naive, traumatic, emotional, immature self somewhere. Shouldn't have been in nobody's hand in matrimony. Just shouldn't have did it. I just shouldn't have did it. Not at that age. I just feel like at that age, 27, I feel like let's start over. Okay, if you're new here, hey, what's up? My name is Key, and I used to be on here on social media talking about being married, getting a divorce, and just my experience as a millennial who got married in her 20s. Let me just say that. Okay, so first off, currently divorcing for the second time. I've been trying to divorce this man for 2 years, and there's that. If you never gotten a divorce before, which not a lot of us have, I don't know the statistics about like the rate at which Black millennials are getting married or divorced, but I'm in there. I have definitely earned my stripes in there. But let me talk about the few things that I wish that I knew before I ended up in this holy matrimony of nonsense. For one, I wish I knew God better. That's number one. That's number one. I wish I knew God better, because if I knew God better the way that I know him in my 34-year-old mind, I definitely would not have been getting married until probably like now at 34. So I wish I would have known God better, because now that I've been like in my Bible, in my devotions, in the church house, in the pew, at my desk, just in the book, just like reading it, doing devotions, meditating on it to get it to make sense to me, applying it to my real life. Like if I was on that level at 27, which I don't think I was on that level when it came to like knowing God like I know him now. Not saying that I didn't know God or anything like that, but at 27, I just feel like I still hadn't learned basic adult skills when it came to like myself and my brain and my mind and my goals and like my morals and aspirations and things like that. So I wish I just would have took the time to pray like I pray now, devote myself like I devote now, like in this mindset. And I feel like it's crazy because I'm only in this mindset because of getting married in my 20s and now realizing that was the time to do that. Because I just feel like I really did God this justice. I didn't do him any justice by getting married at 27. I just don't think I did it. I don't think I did it properly. And it was just a lot of things. And you know what? I've already done my share of guilting myself, feeling bad. I mean, I still feel bad every day. I regret, making a decision that, resulted in the results that is resulting, which if you don't know, just check it out. That's all I talk about on social media. Like, since I've been separated 2 years ago, I just looked into social media. But I wish I would have known God better. I wish I would have had a little bit of a stronger connection with the source. And I feel like that would have prevented a lot of things. I would have had discernment, something that I didn't learn until I was going through what I was going through and being, allowing certain things that I allowed. I feel like it took a mature, spiritual, conscious woman, to understand and to know what God wanted when he created marriage, and to not just go into it trying to make it my own and, you know, make it seem like I can do it however I want to do it, the way I want to do it, when really God laid out the way to do it, and we didn't do it that way. So I understand that now. That's probably why it didn't work, but I'm okay with that, and I'm okay with trying again. I'm okay with, you know, doing it better, doing it right, etc., whatever way have you. But I feel like now that I have like that spiritual guidance now, which is all I really need, because I don't need to listen to these humans. Lord, listening to these humans ain't gonna get you nowhere, child. So I don't do that. Grain of salt. Whatever y'all tell me something, that's how much of it I take. Because y'all are humans. And I don't care about what y'all be talking about. Anyway, okay, so I wish I would have knew God a little bit better when I decided in my 20s that I wanted to marry somebody unhealed, unwhole son. I was also unhealed and unwhole, but we're not talking about who they married, we're talking about who I married. Okay. Another thing I wish I knew before I would have got married in my 20s is the onset trauma that I was gonna face, like, going into my 30s. Because I feel like you need to, like, going through your 20s is not the same as going through your 30s. Going through your 20s is just like, oh, I'm just new adult, I'm out here, you know what I'm saying? I'm a house, you ain't gotta tell me what to do no more. I can do whatever I want. I can go find a man and figure out why men don't be staying around in my life. When ultimately, had I been a little bit closer to God, had I been a little bit more mature, had I allowed myself to live a little longer, to get a little more experience and a little more wisdom, I think I would have understood. I would have been able to have the time to heal the trauma, acknowledge it, you know, do the work. Because I've been in therapy for 3 years. But I feel like had I been who I am now, who I was at that age, then, you know, maybe it could have worked out. But still, at that age, I had not gone through what I had gone through, or haven't gone through enough, you know. And it just so happened that what I chose to go through was a marriage that I had no idea how to do, and had no recollection of the very spirit that created it in order to do it. And so I get in it, and then I try to pray through it, and it's already deemed to not work because the foundation was never there from the beginning, if that makes sense. Hopefully y'all are following. So I wish I would have knew God a little bit better. I wish I would have knew the trauma that I was going to be facing as an adult. I feel like you don't really hit those milestones about, you know, what affects you in adulthood from childhood until you get in those 30s. I don't know what it is about the third decade of life, but that's when life gets the life. And when you are the one literally in control of your life. And I just think mentally we need to get there to that point. I don't think we do that. I feel like we get so caught up. I'm going to talk about me. Let me talk about me. I felt like I got caught up in a lot of the people pleasing that I was supposed to be doing, a lot of the, you know, worried about what other people are gonna think, the judgment, you know, because I was raised in the church. My granddad was a church. My mom was like the oldest, you know what I'm saying? I was the oldest grandchild, so there was a lot of standard. It was a lot of standard, a lot of pressure, a lot of judgment, and a lot of control. Like, it was just a lot that I didn't realize would affect me in the age that I am now until I got to the age now. But that's just one of the things I wish I would have known. I wish I would have known, like, I wish I would have allowed myself to, you know, get through that trauma, get into those years where maybe it would have onset, maybe in just like regular relationships, you know, and not just like a type of commitment like this, like a godly bond that is supposed to be in it to the, you know, to the end. But it's kind of hard being the only one doing self-work when you're supposed to be in a union doing life with somebody. So there's that. Wish I would have knew God a little bit better. I wish I would have known about how the trauma that I did experience, how it affected me in my adulthood. And I wish I would have known that I don't like being controlled, and I don't like being dependent on a man. And as I say that, in my 34 years, I can hear my mother's voice just echoing, saying to never ever depend on a man, right? So, I mean, one thing about me that I've learned is that I can hear you, I can hear something, I can see something, but then in order for me to learn it and grasp it to full capacity, it needs to be like, I need to do something, I need to be hands-on. So like, you can tell me all day, like, never depend on a man. It's like, cool, like I ain't gonna ask a man for nothing, like I'm never gonna, you know, whatever. And then you get into marriage and it's just like, shouldn't I be able to depend on this man? But then that goes back to what I wish I would have known. I wish I would have known that I need to go back to what the Bible says about this and, you know, execute it that way as well. But I feel like getting to this point, I also wish I would have known that I needed a lot of growing up. There's a lot of growing up I needed to do, and I needed to do it like for myself, by myself. I needed to be alone a little bit longer, and I wish I would have known that. I wish I would have known that I needed to be alone with myself a little bit longer, and that I don't need to feel like a relationship and like or a career or both, you know, is what equates to like, you know, being successful. I wish I would have known that just figuring out how to transform my mind the way that I have after being depressed and going through depression and postpartum depression and narcissistic abuse. If you don't know what that is, you don't want to, because it's not fun and it doesn't feel good. But I just wish I would have known that I was not compatible with this person before deciding to get married in my 20s, because it's a lot. It's a lot of standards that I did not require, except for saying like, if you think I'm going to be like the next baby mama, then you're gonna have to marry me. But yeah, I wish I would have known the person a little bit better. I wish I would have known the person a little bit better before I decided to make a commitment that has been so difficult to get out of. But it's fine. It's fine. You live and you learn. And that's that. It doesn't mean that you can't try again. It doesn't mean that you have to take your life's definition and put that experience on there. No, there's so many more experiences to be had. And I'm glad that I had this one, because I guarantee the next time, the next relationship, the next marriage, y'all gonna be all up in there. And it's gonna be this big one. Feel what I'm saying? So those are the things that I wish I knew. I mean, there's some more things, but those are the things that came top of my head. And I just felt like, I don't know, telling myself on camera, because why not? Nobody else is talking about millennials getting divorced in their 30s. So I guess I'll just start that trend. But if that's cool, if you like talking about it, if you like hearing about it, then you could just come over, just hang out over here. Not over here, but on the channel. But yeah, if you like talking about it, like if you're interested in, you know, hearing what it's like, the experience of being a millennial getting divorced in your 30s, I got the tea. I got the tea for y'all. But that's it. That's all I had. But until the next one, I'll be here. You know, hit me up. Let me know what you want to talk about. You can FaceTime. Y'all can FaceTime me on here. Let me know if there's anything about divorce, marriage, or co-parenting, as ghetto as that is. You know, I'm willing to share. Maybe it'll help somebody. Maybe it'll help somebody getting through it that's not talking about it get through it, because I know when I was going through it, I didn't know anybody else. Maybe one person that had experienced it. She had already done it, and she was already like on the other side of it. So I was just like, What? Yeah, I wish I would have known that it would be this dirty of a game. I wish I would have known that the person that asked me to be married to them would turn out to be the op. What they do that at? But it's whatever. Bye.